What is good, y'all? KipUp here, and here we are for a new team preview for a new league. I'm now in the Havoc Battle Association, or the HBA, which I'm actually really excited about. We had 110 points to draft Pokemon based on a certain point value. Then we had up to 3 Z captains. We had 25 points to spend on that, and the points were decided by how much the Pokemon was in value when you drafted it. So we'll go through everything I have in a minute. I did get my battle in for week 1. I'll have that uploaded ASAP. But here we are. The Orlando Magikarp are back. So this is the team I got. I'll just run through it right quickly, then go in depth a little bit more about each Pokemon. We got Victini, Mega Altaria, Snorlax, Gliscor, Crobat, Slowbro, Breloom, Hoopa, and Spinarak. Spinarak is a special pick, and I'll explain why later. Okay, nice English. There we go. Nice English. But anyway, this is, I believe, in order. Yeah, it's in order of point value. I think I picked Mega Altaria first. Yeah, I picked Mega Altaria first. But anyway, we'll go through each one individually like this. Anyway, first we have Victini. I always love to have a kind of do-it-all Pokemon, one that can hit on the special side or physical side, one that can run Assault Vest, one that can be like a sub setup, one that could be a Scarfer, Choice Band, pretty much anything you want it to be, and that's exactly what Victini is. I think I'll mostly be using it as a pretty offensive AV user. That's why I used it in week 1. I might use it as a Scarfer a lot, etc., but there's just so much you can do with it. It has so much coverage, as you can see, from Blue Flare to Energy Ball, Bolt Strike, Glaciate, Scarf Final Gambit, Fire Blast, Fusion Bolt, Grass Knot, set up screens, Power Up Punch, pretty much anything you could ever want it to do. So yeah, I just picked it because I always love to have a Pokemon that I can do pretty much anything with. On the MLP, it was Meloetta. In this league, it is going to be Victini. Next up, we do have Mega Altaria, which I picked as my Dragon and Fairy of choice. And the reason I picked it was because I thought I could use something pretty bulky that could still suffice pretty well on offense, and that's exactly what Mega Altaria does. You guys will notice in a lot of my leagues, I prefer bulkier Megas, Megas that can act as stopgaps first and offense later. So that's why I love mons like Mega Scizor. Anyway, Mega Altaria, really nice. Mostly used as a cleric or a defogger, Spidef, or defensively. It also has a bunch of great moves. It has Dragon Dance. I believe it has Dragon Dance. Yeah, it has Dragon Dance. It can use Hyper Voice. It can use Frustration Return. It can defog. It has Roost, Cotton Guard, even if you want to make it really fat. It has all the coverage you need to get through the steals that stop it. So obviously steals resist Dragon and Fairy, but this thing has access to Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Earthquake, you name it. It has Heal Bell, and when it isn't Mega Evolved, when we're just base Altaria, it has Natural Cure. And we're allowed anytime we want to Mega Evolve or not Mega Evolve our Pokemon. So Altaria can also be used as a fantastic just status block. I can just throw it in along with Gliscor, even Breloom. I can throw those in and absorb Paralysis, Burns, Toxic, as long as these two have their Toxic Orb and this thing is still base. I'll never be affected really by status. Even Snorlax has immunity and is pretty viable with rest. But this thing hits pretty much in every way you'd want it to. It can function in 1,000 different ways. Yet again, I like it mostly as a really bulky stopgap because I have answers to anything that may hurt it offensively, from obviously Lax to even Slowbro. So this thing will be very well protected, as it should be, because it can do pretty much anything. Next up, we do have Snorlax. I picked Snorlax because I just wanted a Spidef wall. I was thinking about grabbing Slowbro, and I think I grabbed Slowbro before this. But Lax is just a really good Spidef wall that can set up and be a win con pretty much any way you want to. From Belly Drum to Curse to even just being fat, it can just run. You can run Gluttony Iapapa. It can be Rest Talk Curse. It can pretty much do anything. It can run Band. I say that about everything, that I can pretty much do anything, but not really. This thing hits mostly on the physical side. But yeah, other than having a really big problem with fighting types and fighting type moves, Snorlax can wall a lot of the things that give this team trouble. With the ability Thick Fat, it can take on the ice types that a lot of my team doesn't like. It can take on the fire types that my team is pretty okay with, but mostly the ice types that Gliscor, Crobat, Breloom, and Altaria just aren't fans of. Gluttony means obviously it can just keep eating berries. It has access to Recycle, meaning that I won't run out for a very long time of berries. Yeah, it does exactly what I need it to, and because it's so fat, it just takes the hits everything else needs it to take. Doesn't this thing get Slack Off too? What does it get? Okay, it gets Rest. I know it gets Rest. Okay, that's all it gets. I'm stupid. Next up, we do have Gliscor, which unfortunately is our only rocker. I don't know why I wasn't looking at rockers when I was drafting this team. But yeah, Gliscor is our only rocker, but also a really good defogger and just a good defensive Pokemon. It has access to Swords Dance and things like Aqua Tail, Earthquake, U-Turn for momentum, Acrobatics, although Poison Heal is by far its best ability, so I'll probably be running Toxic Orb. Fling if I want to be that guy. Knockoff. Rock Polishing be Dual Dance. Yet again, a Stealth Rocker. Really good Substitute Mon because of Poison Heal. And even a good Taunter. So really what this does is that it brings support to the rest of my sweepers. Namely Victini and Breloom, even Crobat. And just gives them the ability to come in without much damage, to take hits, to get a slow U-turns off, to bring them in safely, etc., etc. Yet again, a lot of the Pokemon I picked are support to my favorite sweepers, and I have like 3 of my favorite sweepers on this team. And that's what Gliscor does, especially set up rocks. Which is unfortunate. If I do ever make a transaction in this league, it will likely be for another Stealth Rock setter. However, I'm pretty happy with this team right now. I might get rid of like Crobat or something, but that would probably be the only Pokemon I actually get rid of. Otherwise, I feel like this team is pretty solid. Next up, we do have Crobat. I just wanted a really, really fast Pokemon to deal with like the Cocos and the everything else's of the world that are just super fast. Infiltrator is a fantastic ability, allowing it to hit through substitutes and things like that. It can hit on both sides. It can hit special or physical. However, does it get Sword Dance? Okay, it doesn't get any setup physical attacking move, but I know it does get Nasty Plot, which gives it the ability to just destroy things. And it's access to Air Slash, Dark Pulse, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, any hidden power I want to, U-Turn, Roost, Defog, Taunt, Super Fang, pretty much anything. Yet again. Just super fast and deals with pretty much anything I want it to. If I throw a Scarf on it, it will likely, outspeed the entirety of my opponent's team. Except for when they have, like a Mega Beedrill or a Coco or something like that. It's guaranteed to outspeed anyone's team. It hits really hard. It's my first Z Captain, meaning it has the ability to run Flynium Z, Poisonium Z? Time out, what is it? Poisonium. Okay. Yeah, Poisonium Z. Pretty much, I can't say pretty much anything. I need to stop saying that. But it has so many moves, so much coverage, that I can run a lot of Z moves on this and be pretty unpredictable if I want to use that or not. Next up, we do have Slowbro. I wanted a hard defensive stopgap, similar to Snorlax's on the Spadef side. Resistance to fighting types, because fighting types have a bunch of coverage. They have Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, etc. And Slowbro, even though it's weak to Thunder Punch, it will take it pretty easily. I noticed a lot of my team had issues with fighting types, so that's why I grabbed this. So it's also my Z Captain, meaning I can stop it from getting knocked off pretty easily. Yet again, pretty good move pool. However, it has a lot of physical moves I'll never find myself using, like Earthquake maybe, but Focus Punch, Ice Punch, etc. However, it does have Ice Beam, Scald, Psyshock, and Psychic. Any hidden power I want. even Seismic Toss, Shadow Ball, and Signal Beam. So it's able to really handle itself on offense. Not that I will ever really bring it to do that. However, it does have Trick Room, so hey, you never know. You never know. I could run Semi Trick Room. But the main reason I brought this was just because I needed to take on really strong normal types like Megalop. Megalop, which I had to play week 1. Slowbro is my counter to it. Slowbro is my one answer to it. So I needed an answer to things like that beyond just fast Pokemon in priority, and that's exactly what Slowbro is. We have Breloom, which is probably one of my 5 favorite Pokemon of all time, just because it's so fun. It has the best grass type move in the game. It has Spore. Technician means that Bullet Punch and Mach Punch will do a million. It also has Poison Heal, meaning Sub-Focus Punch can absolutely do work. Swords Dance, Rock Tomb, pretty much anything. Especially Rock Tomb. I need to stop saying pretty much anything. God. But Rock Tomb is fantastic. Takes on the ice types, the flying types, and anything faster than it, slowing it down, being able to wear everything down with the Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed itself is also a really nice move because it gets up to base 37 per hit, which means you're going to have something like a base 90-ish move every time you use it. I'm doing my math wrong, kind of, but it's base 90-ish every time you use Bullet Seed, plus the RNG to make it hit 3 to 5 times means it will just break down walls before you know it. One of its big problems is 4 times weakness to flying, and I don't have a flying resist on my team. And also it's pretty low speed. It gets up to, I believe, 262 with a plus speed nature. Yeah, 262, which means it's not doing too much when it comes to speed, but I can even run a Choice Scarf on it. It has plenty of priority. Obviously Mach Punch, which will do a million. So I'm not too concerned about how bad its defense is, but it can't really protect itself, which is yet again why I have Lax, Slowbro, Altaria, Gliscor, etc. So it'll all be setting up to make sure this thing does its work. Next up I have Hoopa. I just wanted a Ghost type to potentially block spins or just generally punish, especially if I can get my webs up with Spinnerack, which is why I grabbed Spinnerack. Super high special attack, base 150, and base 130 Spadef means it's a pretty decent AV user, except it's 4 times weak to Dark and Ghost, which is a slight issue. Yet again, super high, or it's not super high, super huge move pool. Destiny Bond's really nice. It can hit on the physical side, just not as hard. Hyperspace, does it have Fury? Yeah, maybe. I think it's Hyperspace Fury. Oh yeah, it doesn't have Hyperspace Hole. Okay, yeah, so it has Hyperspace Fury, anything from Energy Ball to, I believe it has fire moves. Yeah, it has Fire Punch, so it can break through Steel types if it needs to. Its most hard walls are pretty much the Lax types that are super high Spadef. But with all the coverage it has, it can break through everything pretty easily. Yet again, its speed tier is really bad. I believe it only gets to 262, much like Breloom only gets to 262. But because I have the possibility of webs plus everything else to protect it, it can do work. And lastly, we do have Spinnerack. Spinnerack was kind of a meme pick. I had 1 point to go, and I didn't want to waste it. So I decided I'd pick an LCmon that gets Sticky Web. I don't believe it gets Endeavor. No, it does not get Endeavor. So pretty much it's only niche is Sticky Web. But in some matchups, that'll become really useful. It also has T-Spikes and even Toxic Thread, that can make it sincerely useful. I'll probably just run a Sash variant every, 4 weeks or something. But it really helps this team abuse really fast teams, especially if those teams can only rely on Rapid Spin support. And I even have a Bisharp that I forgot to add to this team. That is, I'll have to add Bisharp real quick. But the reason Bisharp is so important is because he gets Defiant. So that means if anyone wants to defog, I throw in Bisharp and Bisharp sweeps. And if anyone wants to Rapid Spin, I throw out Hoopa, and Hoopa can just pretty much punish anything that comes in. So I forgot to throw in Bisharp, but Bisharp is also super important. It's my Steel type of choice, it's my Dark type. It's like basically my Dark Resist. Yeah, it's essentially my Dark Resist outside of Altaria. So yeah, that's pretty much how the team goes. This is what I drafted. You guys tell me if you like this team or not. I'm sorry I forgot Bisharp, but Bisharp is hugely important for the Sticky Web Spinarak may bring. Now, my week 1 is against Evader, who pretty much started the league, and I'll show you guys the team builder, and tomorrow I'm going to be uploading the game. So, his team, he is the New York Scrafties. It is made up of Tapu Koko, Mega Lopunny, Tornadus Therian, Vaporeon, Flygon, Mesprit Delmise, Durant, Exploud, Magmortar, and Articuno. So clearly he has some very, very, very fast Pokemon that I need to deal with off the bat. His only really slow Pokemon per se are Vaporeon, Delmise, and Exploud, and even then, they still hit pretty hard if they choose to. So this is the team I brought. It was basically around Breloom, just really enforcing itself, being able to protect on Mega Lopunny fake outs, and being able to almost kill with Mach Punch. I didn't calc, but I believe if he's running no bulk, this does like 90 min. So, pretty much around making sure all of his really fast Pokemon get beaten down by Breloom, preserving the Sash for getting Toxic or getting switched into rocks, things like that. The Slowbro is my hard Mega Lopunny counter in case Breloom dies. Altaria is just the really fat defogger for Koko. I didn't really have an answer to Mesprit off the top of my head, so I just brought Assault Vest Victini to take on pretty much anything from Koko to Mesprit to Torn T. Thunderbolt to take care of anything in electric terrain. Electric terrain is a really big problem for Breloom, which is the prime reason I didn't bring Spore. And the biggest set that I was really struggling with Breloom, I was between Sub Poison Heal with Swords Dance, which is a really weird set, I know, but actually would have done a lot of work. Or just Technician, Protect, Sash. I ended up going with this, and you guys will see how that goes in the game. But those were the two biggest sets I really struggled with. However, with Slowbro, I knew I was going to bring this the whole time. When I saw Mega Lop, I realized how much trouble I could be in if I didn't have a hard counter into it. I brought Crobat in case he didn't bring a Scarf Koko, and if he did, I could tell immediately if he outsped and killed it. Actually, I wouldn't know because it'd be a speed die. But regardless, Flying EMZ because he has pretty much no resist to that besides Koko. Yeah, his only flying resist is literally Koko. So this would have just absolutely nuked something. I'd Cross Poison in case he just randomly brought in his Koko. And the reason I bring Cross Poison is because that's its best physical poison move. And it's not bad. It's base 70. But I didn't want to run Split and somehow lower one of my defenses in case I actually get hit with this thing. So yeah, that's pretty much why I used Cross Poison, though I know it's a weird move. And then we have the thick boy. We have Recycle, Gluttony, the Papa Berry, Snorlax. I had to run Crunch in case he brought in Delmise, because if he brought Delmise, he walled any set that was Rest Talk. And I was really strongly considering Rest Talk. I was thinking Curse, Body Slam, Rest Talk, but just wouldn't have worked. But Curse with Body Slam and Crunch for the Delmise, for the Mesprit, for everything else. Body Slam has a chance to paralyze everything save for Koko and does plenty of damage to everything besides Vaporeon. So basically all I did was I brought everything to counter his Koko and Lopunny. And then I brought Victini as a bulky just nuke with Glaciate to slow down his Torn T. And you'll notice I do have a lot of speed slowing moves. So Rock Tomb and Glaciate for his faster Mon, so then these two can abuse. But I brought Assault Vest Victini mostly so I can take a hit from, say, a Torn T or a Koko and just nuke it back. I'll even take on a Mesprit. And yeah, that's the team I brought for week 1. I will be posting week 1 tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm very excited to be in this league. I hope you guys are excited to watch. Drop any support you want. Tell me what you guys think about the team. And yeah, I'll have week 1 soon, and I'll talk to you guys soon.